Our boy looked startled to hear his name, but he rose from the stool and walked down the short length of the living room, following Obiefuna through the corridor and into the small bedroom he shared with his brother, Ekene. There, our boy finally let go of the sack, watching as Obiefuna put it away in the wardrobe. Obiefuna turned to our boy because he had said something. "What? Where is the latrine?" he repeated in Igbo. "Latrine?" He nodded and, taking note of Obiefuna's confusion, made a slight squatting posture. It took Obiefuna a moment to understand. "Oh, you mean the toilet?" he asked. Our boy hesitated and then nodded again. "Come with me," Obiefuna said. He led our boy out of the room, back into the corridor, and pointed to the door of the toilet at the far end. Our boy walked with uncertain movements to the door and prized it open with a cautious push. Obiefuna wondered how long he had been waiting to go. Had he endured the long journey from the village with full bowels? Our boy inspected the bathroom with a perplexed expression that prompted Obiefuna to step into the toilet and tap at the water system, proceeding in halting Igbo. "This is where you will sit and do it, and then flush with a bucket of water. Understood?" Our boy seemed to give it a moment's thought, and then he nodded. He turned to Obiefuna with what Obiefuna would regard in retrospect as his first full smile since his arrival. That night, Obiefuna stood outside his parents' bedroom, ear pressed to the door, sifting through their bedtime conversation. "Anamansi, I should have at least been informed that you were coming with him today. How can you bring someone from nowhere into our house and expect me to be happy with it?" Uzoamaka protested. "But I had no idea myself I would be returning with him." This from Ngozie. "I told you how Shedrack followed me home after the meeting. Matter of fact, he even made the request right there in front of the whole Umunna. What was I supposed to do? Turn him down?" Uzoamaka hissed. "Why am I not surprised? Those conniving snakes know exactly how to get what they want." Ngozie chuckled. "It hasn't been easy for the family since Okezie died, Uzoamaka." "It hasn't been any better for this family," she snapped back. Ngozie exaggerated a tired yawn. "He won't be here for very long." His voice had slowed to a sleepy drawl. "You'll be surprised at how quickly the years will fly past, and I intend to make him useful to me in the meantime." Ekene was amused by him. What sort of name is our boy? He wondered. They were on their way to Ojukwu Field for after-school football practice. It was a hot day. The heat of the coal tar penetrated Obiefuna's thin soles and scalded his feet. But it had no effect on Ekene in his thick-soled football boots, his eager air. "There's nothing wrong with his name," Obiefuna said. He felt disappointed. It was hard to read Ekene nowadays. He could not tell if, in addition to amusement, Ekene felt any warmth for a boy. He wanted Ekene to like a boy. Although Ekene was 13 months younger than Obiefuna, he had long resigned himself to needing Ekene's approval, reveling in the simple pleasures Ekene's validation brought. Ekene shrugged and continued bouncing the ball. He possessed at only 14 the grandeur of an adult and the world-weariness that came with it. People said he was the spitting image of their father, with his narrow, unsmiling face and calculating eyes. He had also inherited Anonze's temper, except his was more spontaneous, the outcomes more shocking. At 10, he had buried the tip of a ballpoint pen in the lower back of a classmate after the boy pulled his chair out from under him as he was sitting down, causing him to land on the floor. Had called his Form 4 class teacher a prostitute for publicly berating him after he failed the test, receiving their father strokes afterwards with impossible endurance.